The 10-second stand. Unmasking your body's internal GPS. The first challenge tests your balance. It sounds deceptively simple, but its gradual loss often goes unnoticed, acting as a silent threat to stability. Consider Don. At 77, Don felt robust. He walked daily, tackled crossword puzzles, and tended his garden. He had no major health concerns. So, when his wellness class instructor asked everyone to stand on one foot, Don laughed. He thought, how hard can this be? But his laughter faded the moment he lifted his foot. He wobbled, his arms flailed, and he couldn't hold the position for more than 3 seconds. Don, who hadn't experienced a fall, was suddenly confronted with a harsh reality. His balance had become dangerously fragile. This isn't about athletic prowess. It's about connection. The ability to stand on one foot requires a sophisticated, real-time conversation between your brain, muscles, joints, and nerves. This intricate communication network is known as proprioception, your body's internal GPS system. With age, unless actively challenged and trained, this system weakens. We live in a world of flat floors and predictable movements, rarely demanding much from our balance, so its decline isn't felt until a near miss or, worse, a fall. Don's experience was a wake-up call. He began practicing near his kitchen counter, aiming for just 10 seconds a day. It was a struggle initially, but after a few weeks, he achieved his goal. The most surprising reward wasn't just the improved physical balance. It was the surge in confidence. He felt lighter, quicker, and a deep-seated fear of falling, one he hadn't even consciously admitted to, finally began to recede. Why not test yourself now? Find a sturdy chair for support, lift one foot, and count slowly. A little wobble is normal, but an inability to hold it for 10 seconds is a clear signal. Don't ignore it. Balance underpins countless daily actions. Turning quickly, reaching for an object, stepping sideways, or catching yourself when you stumble. But what Don didn't know then was that this simple balance test might have also offered a glimpse into his cognitive future. Poor balance can be an early indicator of cognitive decline. Improving your stability isn't just a physical endeavor. It's neurological. This isn't about measuring yourself against others, but about checking in with your own body. 10 seconds might not seem like much, but standing tall and steady signifies that your body still trusts itself. Don regained his footing, but he soon realized another common space held a different, more daunting challenge: the floor itself. The floor test. Can you rise again? That's for kids and yoga people. Alice, 74, had always maintained. For over a decade, sitting on the floor was something she actively, if subconsciously, avoided. It felt awkward, her knees protested, and her hips felt tight. Like many, she began making those small, almost invisible choices, skipping activities that required kneeling or reaching low, that gradually hemmed in her world. Then, one day, visiting her granddaughter, she decided to join the little one on her playmat. Getting down was manageable, but getting back up? She found herself reaching, a little desperately, for the solid support of the couch. She was trapped, caught off guard by her own body. This seemingly simple act, sitting down and rising from the floor without using your hands, arms, or knees for support, is one of the most telling tests of your overall physical state. It's not about speed. It's a holistic assessment demanding balance, lower body strength, core control, flexibility, and coordination all in one fluid motion. It's a powerful aging test precisely because we stopped doing it. Alice's struggle prompted a conversation with her doctor, who delivered a stark warning. If you lose the ability to rise from the floor unassisted, he explained, your risk of losing independence over the next few years goes up dramatically. That one movement reflects the strength and resilience of your whole body. It was a terrifying truth. Determined, Alice began practicing. She started with a pillow for cushioning. She focused on strengthening her legs with supported squats, gently coaxing flexibility back into her hips with stretches, and consciously engaging her core. It wasn't easy. It took weeks of consistent effort, but eventually, the moment came when she could sit down and rise again, unaided. The feeling, she said, was like shedding 20 years. If you try this, do it safely. Use a soft rug, keep a chair nearby, and lower yourself gently. See if you can rise without pushing off. If you can't, view it not as a failure, but as a signal and important message that certain muscles and joints need attention before they weaken further. This ability isn't lost forever. With patient, consistent movement, anyone can improve. It's about being functional, ready for life. Whether it's recovering from a fall or simply playing with your grandkids, Alice felt empowered, but her newfound confidence faced a daily obstacle in her own home: the staircase. The stair challenge. Climbing without clinging. Stairs have an uncanny way of revealing the truth about our bodies, our legs, lungs, and heart. Glenn, 79, had lived in his two-story house for over 4 decades. He used to bound up those stairs without a second thought. But recently, things had changed. He found himself pausing halfway, his hand instinctively reaching for the handrail, his own home suddenly feeling like an unconquerable mountain. This shift from confidence to caution often goes unnoticed. It's not merely about leg strength. Climbing stairs is a complex dance involving coordination, joint support, cardiovascular health, and belief in your own balance. For Glenn, the change was insidious. It started with a twinge in his knee. Then came a subtle breathlessness. Soon, gripping the railing became a habit, initially a precaution, but rapidly morphing into dependence. He kept his struggle private until one morning when his foot didn't lift quite high enough, and he nearly tumbled. That close call was the catalyst. His doctor confirmed his fears. The ability to climb stairs unassisted is a potent predictor of both independence and heart health. Glenn took it seriously. He wasn't aiming for athletic feats, just reclaiming a piece of his freedom. He started simple. Step-ups on the bottom stair, wall sits to build endurance, calf raises for power, and daily walks to boost his stamina. The results weren't immediate, but they were tangible. Within weeks, he noticed he wasn't winded by the third step. Within months, he could ascend the entire flight without grabbing the rail. More valuable than the regained strength was the immense feeling of pride. If you can climb a flight of stairs smoothly, without pausing or relying on support, it's a positive sign. But if you struggle even slightly, listen to your body. It might signal tight hip flexors, weak glutes, poor ankle mobility, or reduced cardiovascular fitness. It wasn't just weak legs holding Glenn back. It was a hidden restriction. But none of these are permanent sentences. Gentle, consistent work can make a difference. Even if stairs aren't a daily feature, mimicking the motion with low step-ups or walking inclines helps maintain that crucial ability to handle elevation without fear. Glenn felt proud, but a simple turn of his head while walking almost caused another incident, revealing a different kind of stiffness. The head turn test. Your window to the world. Just turning your head. It sounds like the simplest action imaginable. Yet, as we age, this fundamental movement often becomes restricted, and the consequences extend far beyond mere comfort. Consider Barbara, 76. Her minor fender bender, pulling out of her own driveway, wasn't serious in terms of damage. But when her son asked, "Why didn't you see the car?" her answer sent a chill down his spine. "I couldn't quite turn." Her experience highlights a crucial truth. Neck mobility is inextricably linked to balance, safety, and overall independence. Think about it. We turn our heads constantly, crossing a street, checking blind spots while driving, navigating a crowded store, stepping off a curb. When your neck can't move freely, your body tries to compensate, often by twisting the torso, which throws off balance and slows reaction time. Trouble begins. A stiff neck doesn't just feel tight. It can lead to poor posture, diminished spatial awareness, and a significantly higher risk of falls. Because the stiffness often creeps in slowly, many, like Barbara, don't realize how limited their range of motion has become until an incident forces them to confront it. Barbara's doctor confirmed tightness in her cervical spine, alongside some expected arthritis-related stiffness. But what truly surprised Barbara wasn't the diagnosis. It was the remarkable speed of her improvement once she began a routine of gentle daily exercises. Slow, deliberate head turns, relaxing shoulder rolls, and gentle resistance movements started to unlock years of stiffness. Within weeks, she noticed she could turn fully without tension. This wasn't just about driving. Walking through her neighborhood felt easier, more fluid. Her world felt bigger, clearer. Test yourself. Sitting or standing tall, slowly turn your head right, then left. Is it smooth? Do you feel tightness? Can you achieve at least a 60-degree rotation without strain? If not, your mobility is limited. Neck stiffness isn't an inevitable part of age. It's often a result of disuse. We avoid movements that feel tight, and in doing so, our body locks itself into an ever-shrinking safe zone. But this safe zone limits your world and compromises your awareness. You don't need a gymnast's flexibility, just enough mobility to move confidently and safely. Barbara could see clearly now, but she soon noticed another household task felt heavier than it should, testing a different kind of strength. The 10-pound carry, testing your real-world strength. Ray, at 82, had always taken pride in his self-sufficiency, especially doing his own grocery shopping. But lately, the familiar trip from the car to his kitchen felt different. Carrying the bags left him more winded than he liked to admit. One afternoon, he caught his reflection in the hallway mirror and stopped short. Was that really him? The man looking back was hunched, shuffling almost imperceptibly, his shoulders rounded under the weight of a few bags. It was a sobering moment. Ray hadn't realized how much strength he'd lost, or more importantly, how that loss was insidiously affecting his posture, his balance, and even his breathing. This final challenge, carrying a 10-pound object, like a small grocery bag or a laundry basket, across a room, might seem like a simple chore, but its implications are profound. The ability to do so without losing posture, gasping for breath, or needing to stop is a quiet but crucial test of real-world functional strength, endurance, and core stability. It's a test many older adults gradually fail without ever marking it on a calendar. As muscle mass naturally declines with age, so too do grip strength, lung capacity, and the core stability that keeps us upright. These changes might not be obvious when sitting or standing still, but add weight and movement, and the body reveals its truths. Ray, however, wasn't one to give up. He started simple resistance training at home. No fancy equipment, just soup cans and light dumbbells. He began walking with small weights in each hand. Crucially, he focused intensely on his posture. Standing tall, pulling his shoulders back, actively engaging his core muscles. Months passed. Then, one day, he hauled his groceries in and realized it was easier. Not only could he carry the bags without struggling, but he simply felt stronger, more solid, even just walking down the hallway. Test yourself. Grab something weighing around 10 pounds. Walk 20 or 30 feet. How do you feel? Are you staying upright? Do your shoulders slump forward? Does your grip weaken? Do you need to pause? This isn't about weightlifting. It's about function. It's about having the strength to carry your own bags, move a chair, or hold a grandchild. Your core is your anchor, the system that keeps you steady and strong. If this feels difficult, it's merely a starting point. Ray showed up for his future, but the biggest question remained. How many of these 5 challenges could you conquer? And what does it truly mean? It's not an end. It's a beginning. Reclaim your power. So how did you fare? 1, 2, perhaps none at all? Before discouragement sets in, understand this. This wasn't merely a test. It was an awakening. It's meant to wake up the part of you that still wants to grow, to challenge, to strengthen, even if you haven't felt that way in a while. Most people over 70 start losing these basic abilities quietly, gradually, without anyone noticing, not even themselves. And then one day, a simple task feels harder, a step feels shakier, a breath feels shorter, and slowly, life starts shrinking. But it doesn't have to. Hope is real because improvement is real. You're not powerless. Your body still listens when you give it attention. Your muscles still respond when you ask them to work. And your spirit still rises when you remember what you're capable of, even if it's just holding your balance a few seconds longer than yesterday. If even one of these 5 signs caught your attention today, let that be the beginning of something, not the end. Pick one challenge. Try it today, then try it again tomorrow. Watch how the smallest, consistent effort leads to the biggest shift, not just in your body, but in how you walk, how you feel, and how much you trust yourself. Because your independence doesn't end with age. It ends when you stop asking your body to support you. So keep asking, keep practicing, keep growing. Regain your power. Start today.